So we've been dragged to hell with this latest Naruto Shippuden episode. Alright, so first of all, I want to talk a little bit real quickly about the fillers in general. From my understanding, not only all of March we're going to have filler, I think we're going to have filler even into April and possibly May. So yikes if you was expecting Madara's anytime soon like I was. Because goddamn, if we're going into April and possibly May with filler, yeah, it's not happening. But anyway, this episode in particular continues with the Sound 4 and basically this jutsu. I would have preferred, in all honesty, because it was explained as though it's just like some hellish type of jutsu, but they're not actually in hell. It's just like it's some weird unknown jutsu, and I would have preferred if they were in hell because it would have been interesting to see what they encounter down there. But no, they're still alive, and well, they're struggling to be alive and whatnot. Couple of flaws with this episode. First of all, I didn't like how it felt as though another character development that Shikamaru has had over the series was kind of knocked away because when he was doubting himself of being the team leader and whatnot of the group, we're long past that. Shikamaru got over that in part 1. He got over that definitely in part 2. So to see him doubt himself about being the leader, it felt like it was knocking something away. So I really didn't care for that. I gotta give respect though, because from my understanding, this episode, I believe, and the last episode, it was done in a style called Sakuga, and that's basically where one person animates the entire episode. So if that's the case, then it explains a lot. It explains the lack of detail, it explains the coloring not being too superb or anything like that. But yeah, if that's the case, then it is definitely, I got to give respect to one animator doing the entire episode. Animation in this one, though, as far as like it had a lot of lack of detail, and it had I guess coloring, like the coloring didn't really look any good or anything like that, but the animation itself, the movement, I guess looked pretty good in this particular episode. But overall, the premise of what was going on, we didn't get too much action. We kind of more so got like struggles within the real world of them trying to keep their bodies alive because the chalk was stopped. And I guess it was all right. I kind of enjoyed this one a little bit more than last week's because it felt, I guess, a little more original, and the struggle made a little more sense now because now they've been stripped of their bodies, and the Sound 4 are basically immortal at this particular point. What is up with Naruto running though? I feel like it's freaking hilarious. Like, dude been running for months and months and months to his destination. He's like running across a shinobi and everything. Like, they always keep adding that in there, like just to remind you, Naruto's running. He's running. He's on his way, and it's gonna take us a couple more months for him to get there. Like, holy shit, I find that freaking hilarious. But overall, this episode, really, in all honesty, there's a couple things here or there, but for the most part, it's not even really much to say. They were trapped in there, and they're struggling to get out, and the Sound 4 have a huge advantage over them now because they don't have a human body anymore, but they do, and they're struggling on the outside. I guess it was cool to see Ino get a little bit of a screen time, and Shino, because, you know, they never really get any, so I guess I always like it when they do that in the fillers, give them a little bit more screen time of them, like, you know, they're trying their best to keep them alive, so that's kind of cool. And I guess it's cool that they're interacting with the intel and the headquarters and whatnot to try to get this resolved, and they're kind of not giving, like, you know, the help that they need because they don't know exactly where they're at either. So it's kind of good. Like, I like the little bit of struggle with them, and that gives them a little bit more I guess go ahead to try to do it themselves because they really, you know, they can't do anything. It was kind of funny that Akamaru was placed over there as well. Like, yeah, make sure you bring the dog to hell too. And yeah, this episode, honestly, it was there. It was I enjoyed it more than last week. I'll tell you that much, because at least it felt a little more like a challenge for them. It didn't feel like, wait, the Sound 4, they coming in and they kicking ass out of nowhere. It actually felt a little bit more challenging. So I enjoyed this one more than last week, but not by much. I'd give this episode anywhere from, I want to say maybe like a 2.5 out of 5 this time, because they didn't really have any cool battles or anything like that. It was really just them struggling, like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? When the Sound 4 is just there, bragging about how they're going to kick some ass now. So I can't wait to see them get knocked down. I didn't know that this was going to be an ongoing thing. I don't know how long this arc is going to be, but I'm hoping that we only have maybe 2 more episodes with this, because, I mean, we're struggling against the Sound 4 and the Shippuden. I know that there's circumstances. I know that they're using this crazy jutsu that they got from who knows where, but I hope, like, an episode more and we're done with this, because I was expecting this to be a one-offer and not, like, you know, a continuous arc, which it's cool that they're doing that to make it seem a little more threatening, but at the same time, it's like, there's a war going on out there. Do we really want to be stuck with the Sound 4 in some freaking room? So yeah, that's just my overall thoughts of the particular episode. Didn't really care for it too much. It was okay, but for filler, I've seen much better. You know, we had Chikara, which was an amazing filler, and I was hoping we get something like that and maybe some better animation. But I'm really hoping that they're saving the animation budget for an actual full-on team for when the real shit goes down in the war, which is soon to come. So hopefully we get some of that. Let me know what you thought of the episode. What do you think about the Sound 4 that we're getting this continuous mini arc with them? Do you even care at this point? Because I mean, I was hoping maybe one episode, two was alright, but now we're going into 3 episodes and possibly more with them, and it's just like, this is the Sound 4. We beat them in part 1. Yeah, they had Jonin powers at that particular point, but they were getting at the time and they took them out. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's get the Sound 4 out of here. Let's go. Let's go. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to get out of filler, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's filler, and nobody wants to be in filler. Nobody wants to be in filler. You can enjoy filler, but nobody wants to be in it. From that world, and as always, people, have an awesome day.